Good morning. 1 Corinthians chapter 8. What about the exercise of our freedoms and our rights as Christians? The believers in Corinth had questions about whether they could eat food that had been offered to idols. And Paul starts out by saying to people there, yeah, you've got knowledge, you think, I've got the right view on this, but knowledge puffs up and love builds up. Yeah, sure, there's no true God but one. We know the Lord Jesus Christ, the Father of us all. In heaven, He is the one true God. And all these so-called gods and lords and heaven and earth that people talk about, they're not real. But, he says, if you exercise your freedom to say, oh, that's no big deal, because I know there's only one true God. Doesn't matter if I eat food offered to an idol. But what if you cause a weaker brother to sin? The weaker brother who doesn't know that for sure and is doubting and uncertain about whether he should eat, well, that food's defiled to him. He shouldn't eat it. And if by your eating you wound his weaker conscience, then you sin by doing that and acting selfishly and not in love toward the weaker brother. 1 Corinthians chapter 8. Now, about food sacrificed to idols, we know that we all possess knowledge. Knowledge puffs up, but love builds up. The man who thinks he knows something does not yet know as he ought to know, but the man who loves God is known by God. So then, about eating food sacrificed to idols, we know that an idol is nothing at all in the world, and that there is no God but one. For even if there are so-called gods, whether in heaven or on earth, as indeed there are many gods and many lords, yet for us there is but one God, the Father, from whom all things came, and for whom we live, and there is but one Lord, Jesus Christ, through whom all things came, and through whom we live. But not everyone knows this. Some people are still so accustomed to idols that when they eat such food, they think of it as having been sacrificed to an idol, and since their conscience is weak, it is defiled. But food does not bring us near to God. We are no worse if we do not eat, and no better if we do. Be careful, however, that the exercise of your freedom does not become a stumbling block to the weak. For if anyone with a weak conscience sees you who have this knowledge eating in an idol's temple, won't he be emboldened to eat what has been sacrificed to idols? So this weak brother for whom Christ died is destroyed by your knowledge. When you sin against your brothers in this way and wound their weak conscience, you sin against Christ. Therefore, if what I eat causes my brother to fall into sin, I will never eat meat again, so that I will not cause him to fall.